Welcome to the Gazette's Her Women of Achievement Honoree Spotlight. I'm your host, Emily Hawk, Special Sections Editor, and with me today is our Her Honoree, Angie Charipar with the City of Cedar Rapids. Hi, Angie.
Hello.
So first, I'm just going to hop right in and ask you to tell us just a little bit about yourself.
I've been in the city of Cedar Rapids since I was 14 years old. Moved here with my family then, originally from Omaha. Have loved living here and have been fortunate enough now for the past 15 years to work for the city in which I live and in which I've raised my family. I've got two absolutely wonderful kids, Elliot and Augie, and I'm just so proud to be their mom. Have a wonderful husband, Matt. Really love the work that I do. I am absolutely unequivocally obsessed with the band Chicago. So if you ever see me singing or dancing in my car, it's likely that I'm listening to a Chicago song. Yeah, and just real happy to be here today.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. So obviously you're being recognized with your work with the City of Cedar Rapids. Could you maybe tell us what inspired or currently inspires you to do this work?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty easy and it sounds maybe a little trite, but it's definitely the people. It's definitely the residents of the city of Cedar Rapids. When you I give little talks around our organization about our form of government, and at the very top of the org chart are the community members. It's why we are all here every day, why we do what we do. Something that is just so incredibly exciting is that and very different, I think, than most places of employment, is that we get to drive around our city every single day and point to things that we have played a part in. We have our incredible city council who makes policy initiatives, those big overarching goals, and we're fortunate enough to be able to implement. I always say, they say the what and we say the how to get things done. So, again, how many people get to drive around their own community and point to something and say, hey, maybe I, laid those pipes underneath the ground, or I was able to clean this up, or I, assisted a community member, with something that they have going on. So it's absolutely all about the people, all about the community, and myself, and we all are inspired every day by them.
And so have you had to make any bold choices to get to where you are today, Angie?
Yeah, I think the boldest choice, and really it's come to me over when we're talking about where I am today, literally here talking to you today with this award. It's a little bit twofold. But the first thing I would say is, and Quinn Pettifer mentioned it at the event we had the other evening, is you don't have to be humble all the time. That I think a lot of women, where I think back to that scene in the movie Mean Girls, where Katie walks up to the Mean Girls table and Regina's there and she said, wow, you're pretty. And Katie says, thank you. And she goes, okay, so you agree that you're pretty, right? And so it's like that false sense of, oh, you have to be humble in order to, be looked at as something, and that's okay. So that's part of it, is just to be able to acknowledge your own achievements, be able to acknowledge that you have indeed put in the hard work, that you may deserve some recognition or may deserve the position in your company, your organization. What comes also with that, though, and I think this is kind of the boldest thing, is to give yourself some grace. Really
Yeah.
give yourself some grace. We all, especially all the women that are being honored here today, and likely everyone in the audience, we all make mistakes. We make mistakes every single day. It's okay. That teaches you a lot about who you are. The most important thing, though, about giving yourself grace, once you really learn how to do it, is you're able to give it to others. You're able to look at other people and give them some grace. Around here at the city, we call it generous intent. And I think, it may not sound like that's a bold move, but once you really get into that, it really changes your life and helps to elevate you into places like this.
Yeah, I love that so much, Angie. Thank you for sharing all of that. So, I mean, this is a perfect question to wrap up our conversation based on what you just said. So, what advice for others do you have for people who are still building their stories, for women who are still working on building their stories?
Well, again, this is something that's sort of relatively new for me. So first of all, I would say always keep learning, right? Don't just stop and say, well, I'm in this place, so that's kind of it, and I'm going to teach everybody everything. Every single day you can learn something, but that isn't the piece of advice. The piece of advice I would give to everybody, and I ask it all the time, is ask yourself, what am I missing? What am I missing? It helps you to learn something every day, but it also helps you to kind of what I said before, to give people the benefit of the doubt, to not sort of make assumptions, to think to yourself, what am I missing about this situation? There's got to be something that I can learn from it. And so to ask yourself that question as many times as you can every day, really benefits you. And I think it benefits the people around you, certainly can benefit your organization.
For sure. I think that's excellent advice, which I will be taking myself. So we're just going to go ahead and wrap up today. Thank you so much, Angie, for being here, and thank you for our viewers for helping us celebrate our 2024 Her Women of Achievement. For all of our 2024 Her Honoree interviews, go to www.her.today. Thank you so much, Angie.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.